Hey everyone, I wanted to make this quick video to talk about a couple of things. I'm back in college, senior year of college. I know it's crazy to think that I'm already at this point in my life, but I guess here I am now, so let's get on with it. Um, I sort of want to start off as I sort of make this video kind of sort of particular in mind. I went to a meeting today at my college that I think was very, very important for a couple of reasons that I'd like to share. And so I just wanted to sort of share some of my experience with this meeting and sort of give you some background information about what has sort of led up to this. So I went to a meeting this evening, and it was a student, it was open to all of the students at my college, and basically there was two deans and a chancellor, and this was sort of a Q&A discussion with them. And to give you a little bit of backstory, because I obviously haven't said anything at this point, you're probably thinking wait, what's going on? Am I in trouble? Who's in trouble? But no one's really in trouble. It's just an important meeting. So basically what has happened up to this point is that my college has recently, or at least for some time, had a lot of budget issues, and as colleges and as such, obviously money is a huge factor. People want to make sure that there's money around and such, and so there's just been some strain and some issues at my college for some time. And I guess at the beginning of this year, the people higher up, administration, the board, the faculty, and such, needed to sort of evaluate and look closely at their budget. And so one of the main ways that they proceeded with this was they looked at the faculty, because that does play a pretty large role in terms of the finance and in terms of the budget, salaries, obviously. So beginning this year, they sort of went through a comprehensive review and sort of examined and looked at each division and looked at the professors and faculty, and really sort of looked at the performance and evaluating how they were doing and whatnot. And I guess over the summer, they had to really sort some things out, because the college is struggling financially. So they had to make some pretty tough decisions, and ultimately what had to come about because of this was they needed to reduce some of the faculty staff. And so they announced a couple of weeks ago, right basically at the beginning of this school year, which is not a good time, but I know that if they did this at a different date, or if they postponed it, or if they announced it way in the beginning, I think that probably would have caused a little more shock and confusion than now. But it's still not an easy time right now. I mean, there's a lot of students, including myself, who are a little just confused and a little emotional and upset about this, and including some faculty. But they had to make an announcement a couple of weeks ago about the staff and faculty, and they had to make some cuts. And so I believe at my college they cut nine faculty members, and and then they had maybe four other positions that they were not going to replace or continue. So, and me, I'm a music major, piano performance, and they ended up cutting 3 music faculty from the college. And there's a lot to sort of, I guess, take apart from this, but I'll sort of give you the gist of the meeting and what happened tonight. But I went because I wanted to support music. I wanted to support my college that I chose to go to, and I wanted to support the faculty. And because as a musician, as someone who's spent years, pretty much most of my college experience in the music building, I've gotten to know, most of the faculty, if not all, on a personal level. And now I'm obviously closer to some than others. That's just natural to be. But the music division has, at least with my college experience, felt as a very special place. It's sort of hard to sort of exactly explain it, and I guess if you're a music major or if you at least appreciate music, maybe you would sort of understand this better. But it's been very, very difficult, I think, recently, including myself. You can sort of feel the energy and the discussion around here recently of just what a loss this is. Obviously, with any budget cut and such, there's always going to have to be tough decisions and tough statements, tough things that you're going to have to do because of this. And at the meeting, the deans and the chancellor, they gave a presentation, and look, I'm not going to make this video just to point out my frustrations, because whenever I do something like this, I always want to make sure it's constructive. I want to make sure that what I'm saying actually has something behind it, because if I wanted to just rant and if I wanted to just implore my frustrations, I don't know. I mean, I could, but that's just not me. And like some of my other videos and such, that's just not how I see things. That's just not how I go about things. So I went to the meeting tonight, and they did answer some things. It was a little bit upsetting at times, because a lot of it, I guess at least from my point of view, felt like a lot of it was sort of information and data and analytics and things that I guess you hear at board meetings, or I guess things that only people higher up sort of discuss. I mean, it was good that they brought it to attention with the students that were there, but I think that sometimes in the midst of all of this, one can forget, I guess, the real sort of reason behind just why are we doing all of this. And I wish that money wasn't as big of a factor as it seems to be right now, but that's just the case. And so, yeah, they announced that they had to cut three professors that are currently, but are going to have to leave by the end of this year. That their positions are eliminated. And I think that just as a musician, as a college student, as someone living in this day of age, I think that the message that it sends in terms of from a college to the rest of the world, I think it's just kind of a sad message, because no matter how you slice or dice it, or no matter how you look at it, what sort of unfolded, it sends a message that music is not something that is valued, or music is something that is not close and fundamental to a liberal arts education or higher education. And look, I understand that budgets, criteria, faculty, evaluations, all that stuff, that's important, and it's necessary at times, as it is in this case. But I think that the bigger picture and consequence of this is that it's sort of saying that from higher up, downwards, that music is just not something that we value as much as other things. And now, I'm not saying that music is, at the top, or that we should put it on some sort of pedestal or whatnot. I'm just pointing out that it's sad when we hear things from the administration, we hear things from the deans, when we hear stuff from them that say that because of these constraints and cuts that we've had to cut certain things as the music. Now they did cut other divisions, but, and don't get me wrong, it is very confusing, of course, for the other majors and divisions. I think they cut out something in communications. They cut out the radio and station. They in that department, and I definitely share frustration in that, because that was sort of one of the only majors that had a direct effect on the community outside of my college. So it's very confusing, like I said, right now for a lot of people, including myself, and I think that emotions are very high right now, as to be expected, but I think it is good that they at least tried to have some sort of open discussion about, and for them to be trying to be transparent about this, because I mean, we hear all the time and just awful stories of, you know, things have to go and there's sort of, that's it. There's no explanation. It's just, this is the budget and this is what we have to do. Now, some of what happened at the meeting tonight did feel like that, but you know, when you sort of get past your initial moments of emotion, I think you realize that everyone, including the administration and people higher up, are just, they're trying to do what's best for everyone. And I know that maybe it doesn't seem that way. Maybe it doesn't, because I certainly, I still, and this is sort of why I'm making this video, I guess I have a little bit of confusion with regards to cutting so much of music. But I also have to realize that, you know, the people making these decisions, you know, we can say that they don't care about us. They, you know, we can say that they're only motivated by, you know, whatever. But they are also human beings, and they also have put a lot of time, effort, and into this college, and invested a lot into the lives of students and each other. And I don't know, I just feel like this is one of those things where it's like, yes, it's much easier to sort of get in the moment, sort of get emotionally charged, and to feel like, yeah, you know, like that you have good cause to be upset. And don't get me wrong, I've certainly felt that this way recently. But I also think that there needs to be some space for everyone, and I think there does need to be some just open dialogue, and I hope that people can realize that as tough as it is now, and as tough that it may seem, you know, as I'm seeing it, that, you know, we do what we can, and, you know, I think we're better off trying to get through things together than by going after each other. So it's gonna be something, you know. I don't. There's gonna be another meeting tomorrow. I'm gonna post this tonight. Doesn't really matter about the dates, because I kind of just put up my videos whenever. But there's gonna be another meeting in the next day, and it's sorry, and it's just gonna be for music majors and minors. But my hope is that students who are not even related to music, I hope that they show up too, and I hope that they can express some concerns and such. I'll just share this with you. When I went up to talk tonight, I got pretty emotional. I didn't really, like before this, I thought like, okay, I really want to like plan something. I really like want to like know what I want to say. But you know, when I got up there, I just sort of said what was on my mind and my emotions, and sort of let that sort of take control. And I ended up just kind of crying, and just you know, that's just how I could show how much this affects me, and how much this means to me, and I guess how much it in a way hurts me, but at the same time how much I believe in it. So I was able to let that out and just, you know, have them see that, because, you know, the decision is final, but it's like, what are you gonna do? I just wanted them to know how much that this had affected me, and I wanted to be able to stand up and voice my concerns and to voice my emotions and just say, like, I believe that this was a wrong decision to cut 3 faculty members of the music division, where other divisions pretty much got cut by 1. I mean, there were some divisions that didn't get cut at all, and presumably it's because their budget was fine and they were doing well to the standard that, you know, whatever they evaluated on. But I think that by cutting 3 full-time music professors certainly seems, it's just sad, you know, especially as someone like me who's, you know, if you've seen my stuff, you know that I still firmly believe that music can change the world. And I still believe that. And I'll, as strong as my will is and as strong as I can muster, you know, I will still believe that with my life. Because that's, I don't know who I would be without music. I just don't. And I don't know if that's your experience. I don't know if, you know, music is something close to you, or if music has helped you, or maybe if music isn't something close. But I just hope, one of my hopes in life is that people might be able to see the power and the beauty of music, and hopefully that can help their life get through all of the inevitable suffering and pain in life that life is. That music is one of those rare remedies that can, in some sense, enhance the pain and suffering, but at the same time alleviate it, and in mysterious and beautiful ways. So, just thought I'd share this. This will probably be it in terms of this discussion, but I just wanted to share that because I think it's important that just people realize that things like this happen, and also that this affects people. It's affected me, certainly. I spent years at this college, but also I've spent years with some of these professors and staff, and some of them I have classes with, and it's like when they're right there, right next to you, going through life, it's like yes, thank you so much that you were right there at this point in my life, because I don't know how I would get through. I don't know how I'd get through it without you. So it's like family. You couldn't almost imagine your life without them. And unfortunately, the faculty has had to make some decisions and to cut some of them. So that's just how it is. But anyway, I hope that this video was helpful. I didn't want to get too drawn into emotionally, but I'll be back with some more videos, and I'm curious to see what you think of them. Hopefully you've seen some of my Chicago vlogs recently. I've been really happy that I was able to make those, that I did the videos. So if you haven't gotten a chance, be sure to check out those vlogs. I think it's like 61 or 62 to like 66 recently, from August 2019. So with that, it's the end of the video. I'm gonna go back to my apartment because I'm in an apartment now, senior year of college, upperclassman. Let's go. Don't really know why I'm mentioning this, but I got this Yankees hat from Express, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I know, like, I know some people are gonna like be like, "Wow, you traitor! Like, how could you?" But I don't know. I just think it's a very simple and uh, aesthetic vibe. So, you know me, and this backpack I got, I don't know. It's just it sort of says me in a way. Like when I saw this, it was just like, that's me. So uh, that's kind of my style and whatnot. But you pretty much know that already. So anyway, hope you have a great rest of your night whenever you watch this. And I'm gonna get back to studying, hopefully, but not really. But that's what everyone says. So thanks for watching.